Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, today we're going to do a tour of Knox Makers in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a non-profit makerspace where people can pay dues and have access to all kinds of shop equipment like metalworking, welding, fabric arts, woodworking, electronics. They even got a laser cutter. They got something for everybody. It's really an amazing place. Billy's going to give us a tour. He's the guy that built this CNC setup for my wood lathe. I'm the cameraman. I didn't do too good. You might want to take some Dramamine. A lot of camera movement. I'm used to having my camera on a tripod, but it's still worth watching. It's going to start out in the blacksmith area, which was outside the Makerspace in a separate building, and then we'll move inside and do a tour of the rest of it. Anyway, let's get started. Well, this is the Knoxville Makerspace blacksmithing section. Tell us a little bit about it, Billy.
We put together this barn. It's a pole barn. Where we're at, they had this concrete pad down here. It's used for diesel fuel tanks, and the landlord graciously included that in our lease. So we decided to build this pole barn around it and put in a blacksmith building.
It looks pretty complete. What do you got here?
Which part? Oh, okay. So that's a 3-burner forge that belonged to one of our makers who passed away, and we picked it up from the wife.
Huh. Wow. There's one made from an ammo box.
Yeah, that's pretty common. All kinds of bladesmiths out there making little ammo box.
Yeah, I've never done any blacksmithing, so I'm not really familiar with it.
I managed to pound out a couple nails and a hook, but I'm kind of new to it too.
Yeah, what's this thing over here?
That was supposed to be a power hammer that same member built, but he didn't do it. It needs some work. Honestly, the bearings,
interesting concept.
And the bearings on it did not hold up, and the drive mechanisms is total. Needs a total rebuild. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
We might get it up and working. The guy over the blacksmithing area is a little concerned about power hammers with the students down here.
Oh yeah, good finger masher.
Well, and face knockers too. Hammer something and come up and smack you in the face. So he's thinking more of a treadle or something like that, a treadle hammer or something.
Yeah, that would probably be good. What's this over here?
Well, this is our new Hosfeld bender. We just picked that up a couple weeks ago and got it installed. Allows us to bend all kinds of flat bar and round bar and tubing and such, and that's our dies that we have for it so far. Wow,
can you, I guess you can bend with cold steel too?
Yeah, this is for cold bending.
Okay.
So you can do all kinds of stuff. It allows you to bend angle iron in funky shapes.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. We just got to get some more dies for it and expand it up to do whatever we want to do. Hosfeld apparently has entire classes on this subject.
I would imagine it looks pretty complex.
Yeah, I haven't done anything with it. I plan to get down here and try it out at some point in time.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I need a small version of that for my shop.
The other interesting thing about this building is we don't have any power down here right now. Everything is we've got a couple lights up here and they're solar powered. So we have a little solar power station that's
that's pretty cool. Not a lot of light, but
well, when the doors are closed, it does more than enough. Of course, you don't want too much brightness in here when you're doing blacksmithing.
Yeah,
you want to be able to see the color of the steel while you're working it. So it's about the right amount of light for what we're doing.
Good deal. Is that another furnace over there?
That is a 2-burner that we have. Yep.
Yeah.
A couple slack tanks floating around, several anvils.
Big anvil on a stump.
Yep.
Yep, this is a hot sport.
Got a nice chalkboard over here for us to work on and storage for steel. And
looks like a pretty good setup, and this is another forge here.
That one belongs to a member made out of a propane tank. Again, that's another common way of people making tanks or making forges themselves.
Huh. Amazing. Okay, we're here at Knox Makers in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Billy's going to give us a tour of this facility. He's over the machining area, and but he's going to show us around. And he's got a channel, Knox Machining. Be sure and check it out. But what's this area here, Billy?
All right, so we'll start off here. What you're all looking at right now is the arts and crafts area. All of our zones, as we call them, are color-coded. So arts and crafts here is this lime green. In the background there, you can see fabric arts. We've got leatherworking over there, CNC embroidery machine, and some nice low surfaces for people to do their sewing and their leather work on. A couple industrial sewing machines over here to the left. We'll get a better look at those here in a second. There you go. And leatherworking section behind that.
So that's all leatherworking, a leatherworking machine?
Yep, this machine here, we call this Beauty and Beast. Beast here will do leatherworking. The other one, I think we're trying to get that one sold out. I don't think they're sold. I don't think they want to keep that one around for whatever reason.
That's a pretty substantial sewing machine.
We got a long arm quilting machine here, manual quilting machine, t-shirt press, and over here we got the CNC embroidery machine.
That's pretty wild.
All right.
What do we got here?
All right, so here on this side we have what we call our hack rack. This is where people bring in their unwanted electronic or other types of items that they want to upcycle or let other people pick through. We got video cards, pipes, you know, motherboards, you name it.
Looks like a gold mine to me.
It's you know, picking. You know, we go through here and pick stuff out that we want to do for projects. It's really a nice setup. You know, there's an oscilloscope. I don't know, maybe some sort of amplifier. I don't know what that is. But there's no rules here. If you want that knob, you can have that knob. It doesn't matter. You're not restricted to it. So if you want the end off that power cord, you cut it and use it. No holds bar. Anything on here goes.
A lot of computers up there.
Yep. Monitors.
Heck yeah. Look at spools of wire. I guess a lot of that's donated.
Yeah, all of this is donated. None of this was purchased. Even the wire, Cat 5, cable, you know, you name it. It's all just donated by members of the community, members of the space, retirees that have all this stuff in their garage that don't know what to do with it.
That's great.
And we'll look at our hospitality zone. You know, everybody needs to snack and eat and stuff, so this is our little commons area we have. We set it up so that we got a nice little table here we can sit up and laptops and converse, or you know, Tuesday nights we bring in our food and eat.
Oh yeah.
We've got concessions here, you know, buy a candy bar, take some drinks out of the refrigerator, kick back, relax, and just have a good time.
That looks great.
This thing here, this is our show-off shelf. Now, y'all need to, you know, keep in mind that we've not had a what we call a open hack night or a Tuesday show and share in over a year due to COVID. So things are a little dusty and a little unkept at the moment, and we're going to be cleaning that up this coming Saturday. But this is just little knickknacks and stuff that people have done over the years and put up here to display.
Interesting stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
We've got remnants of kitties that we've killed in Kill Switch. Kill Switch is our little 3-pound combat robot event that we've been putting on for a couple years now.
It's like an egg painter.
That's an egg bot.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, the next space is woodworking?
Yeah, we're going to call this the danger bay. This is where all the heavy stuff happens. First thing we're going to walk into here is the woodworking zone. It's equipped with quite a few tools that one might want. We got some nice band saws.
That's a heck of a blade on that bandsaw.
That's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it looks like resaw maybe.
Yep.
And a saw stop.
Here we have our saw stop table saw, complete with a nice outfeed table that we built. Over this way we have a miter station that we put together, complete with a Bosch miter saw.
Yeah, it's got an interesting slide mechanism.
Yeah, instead of having rails, it's got this hinge joint set up that's unique to Bosch.
Yeah.
It's really nice because the sawdust doesn't get on the rails and gum them up, so you don't have to worry about that.
Very cool.
Here we have a downdraft table with pegs in there so that you can get on there and do work with that.
I've needed that a few times in my shop.
Yep. Over here we've got a couple glue-up tables where people can come in and do their projects and glue them down.
Right.
If you pan over here to the left, we've got a gentleman working on a desk that he's designed.
Yeah, it's going to be a good-sized desk.
What he's done is he's went and laser cut some templates on our laser cutter and then mounted them to the wood and then used our hand router to route out the shape.
Huh, interesting.
And we got a nice little router table here.
Yeah, it looks like a good one.
And like, like your shop here, we've got a dust collector. We got the Oneida Dust Gorilla. That's a 5 horsepower setup with a variable VFD setup so that it ramps up the speed if you have reduced inlets. So you keep the velocity high enough so that the dust falls out in the cyclone and doesn't clog up your filter. That's a really nice
setup. Mine's a 2.5 horsepower.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit bigger.
Over here we have our laser cutter. This is Moonraker. This is our second laser cutter. The first one we had was called Goldfinger, and we built Goldfinger, but it was small, so we saved up some money and did a fundraiser amongst ourselves and
go ahead and open.
Got this laser cutter. You can tell by just the amount of black in there that it's very well used.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can smell it too.
Yeah. One thing that we did do on this thing is we gutted the control system in it. We're an open source only shop here, so we don't do proprietary software. So we pulled the existing controller and replaced it with open source stuff, and we're running with Linux CNC. You might be familiar with that, Mark. You're going to be learning how to run that here pretty soon yourself.
Yep, somewhat.
And then
not as familiar as I need to be, but yeah.
And then we made this little control panel here to tell us different things like the ready and the air and whether the e-stop is on or not and whatnot. So we replaced, that's where the original controller screen was. And we just replaced that with our control panel.
Interesting. Yep. That's a valuable tool there.
Yep.
We're going this way?
Yep, let's keep on going.
Okay.
And this here would be our metalworking area. Now we've got 3 distinct metalworking areas. We got what we call metalworking, we have machining, and then we have blacksmithing. And we're going to do a tour of the blacksmith building a little bit later. But here, this is the metalworking. This is where you can do your welding and your plasma cutting and your fabrication over here. This here is the plasma cutter, or the plasma table and the plasma cutter.
And these are just welding tables?
We have 2 welding tables complete with fume extraction.
I usually open my garage door.
And we don't have a garage door that would work for that. And if we come this way, and I'll remind you all again that it's COVID times. It's been it's a bit messy.
Yeah, yeah.
Over here we have the grinding room.
Sandblaster.
We got a sandblast cabinet, a 2x72 belt sander, a nice big pedestal grinder.
That's a big one.
Yep, 2 more belt sanders, and then right here we have my 6x12 surface grinder.
Very nice.
And then we have the buffing station.
Yeah, I like the dust collection on the buffing station. I probably need to do something like that on mine. What's this thing?
It's a planishing hammer, I believe is what it's called. You hook a air hammer up to this and you use it to
shape metal.
Shape, sheet metal.
Right.
Frankly, I think that needs to be moved down to the blacksmith building myself.
Probably.
It's kind of loud.
Yeah, imagine.
We have a pipe bender here, or pipe roller, and a pipe bender there that we can at our disposal.
Different dies, you can put different size tubing.
Yep.
That's great.
We'll go through the welding curtain here, and then we'll get to my zone, which is the machining area. And this is my area.
Got a bandsaw and then a lot of storage there.
Yep, 7x12 bandsaw. Picked that up about a year and a half ago. Here we have one of Stan's with Barzies heat treat ovens. This is the Hot Shot 1200.
Cool.
I've equipped it with the Argon upgrade kit. I did a video on that. Y'all can go back and look at that.
Yeah, be sure and check out Billy's channel. It's got some interesting stuff. Look at here.
Yeah, this is a little sparse. I'm trying to get some people lined up to help donate some cutters and stuff, some vendors and whatnot.
Some inserts in there.
Yeah. Nothing in there yet, but here's what I really want to do. I want to do this for both metric and in the imperial and various different types. These are just standard machine screws, but I'd like to do some cap screws and some button heads and that kind of thing.
Very nice.
takes money to outfit something like
Oh,
that.
it takes a lot of time too.
Yeah, the rest of it's just a bunch of miscellaneous junk that has been donated.
It needs to be organized.
It needs to be organized. Again, that takes time.
Right.
We've got a nice tool board here that I got set up with all the tools nice and visible. Trying to do that 5S thing, you know,
That
easily
looks good.
accessible. Drill station, files, hammers.
There's a lot of people using the tools. You need stuff like that.
Yeah, and you got to be able to tell where it's at, you know.
Right, and where it belongs.
You know, it's not like a home shop where you put something down, you remember where it's at. And
Right.
That doesn't work here. You got to be able to look at it and see it, because you got new people coming through all the time.
Right.
So here we have the in progress. I've got to finish this up. I got to finish throwing some more paint on this thing. But this is the tool grinder. And over here, this white thing, that's the pedestal that I put together. I've got a video of us welding a plate to the underside of that brake drum so we can fill it full of sand.
Oh, right.
And then this here is the turret, however you want to say it. It goes up there like that, and that's what the
Okay.
grinder will mount to.
Yeah.
And since this is a tool grinder, you want to be able to get to both sides. I set it up so that it can spin around,
Right. That's a good idea.
so you can get to both sides.
Very good idea.
You guys may want to see this here. This is our nice whiteboard. And of course, hey guys, look, there's some stickers of some pretty prominent YouTubers. And I think up there on the left-hand side, is that yours I see?
I don't know. Never heard of that guy.
I don't know. You know, I've got the sticker board up there. That's a relatively new addition. Over here to the right, we've got the surface plate and height stand. And then this thing here is our hardness tester. I picked that up a couple months ago. Relatively nice old machine, but it seems to work really nice.
Could be handy.
Yep. We got a finger brake. If you want to do pans and stuff, you can take these little metal fingers out so you can size it so you can get in between there so you can do a full
Right.
pan. It's also shear, so you can shear.
Oh, well, that's great.
And up here is a slip roller. It can also do wire. You know, this isn't, you know,
It's not big and industrial, but it's very useful.
yeah, and believe it or not, that's Central Machinery, so that came from Harbor Freight.
Right.
I mean, you know, a lot of this stuff is cheaper stuff, but you got a lot of people using it. You got to sometimes be economical, and
Yeah.
we want the best and greatest.
Oh,
but
that's super handy. Super handy.
yeah.
You got a press here.
Yeah, another Central Machinery or Harbor Freight special, little 20 ton.
Can't go wrong with a press.
No, it works really good.
Yeah.
More tools.
What was this?
This is the enclosure for my CNC, and it's completely junked up right now, guys. That is an ongoing project. You know, due to the wood shop, we got dust.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got lots of dust, but this is an ongoing project, and I hope to get it finished up pretty soon.
Okay. Let's save the bridge part for last. Let's look at this lathe.
Yeah, okay, so this is the MSC 1340 lathe. We drove up to, I think it was Indiana. It was about, I don't remember if it was a 5-hour or 8-hour trip one way. We went up there in a pickup truck, a big 250, and picked it up and loaded it up and brought it back here. Tore it down, stripped it down to bare metal, cleaned it up, repainted it, and reassembled it.
Yeah, you sent me some pictures of it blown apart or taken apart.
Yeah. Little additions I've made. You know, I put this little
Yeah, auto turn on, auto off, or whatever.
yeah, the scales with a little thing. And, you know, sometimes these get in your way when you're trying to turn. It's great for drilling.
Yeah,
But, so I've got it set up so that you can
that's a pretty good little invention, though.
loosen it up. You gotta do it a couple times. And now you can move the
Oh,
quill.
it's free without the, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a nice setup.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
And then of course we got ubiquitous little 7x10 mini lathe. You know, I don't let the newbies on the big equipment right away. They have to go through our authorization class, and then once they're done through the main authorization class, they can use the smaller stuff. But the big lathe and the Bridgeport, they have to go through specialized classes.
Right. That's some new acquisition there, isn't it?
It's relatively new. We need to, again, it needs to be taken apart and cleaned up. It is a Swiss-made horizontal and vertical milling machine. I believe it was used for clock making. It's a nice little unit. I'd like to get it up and running for full tilt.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be real nice for small, delicate parts that are just not quite, you really didn't want to do it on a Bridgeport.
Yeah, look at the collet size
Yeah, it's
there.
got collets. And like I said, this head here comes out, and you can put it in this way and turn it into a horizontal mill also. And it has we've got a right angle plate that comes out here to make a table out of.
That's very cool.
Put up there.
You got a bandsaw, of course, we're looking at the back side of that.
Yeah, we'll go around to the front side here in a minute and look at that. That's a 20-inch Rockwell bandsaw. It's a 3-phase unit, variable speed with a foot pedal over there. It's a nice bandsaw.
Let's just go through here.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a nice, you were showing me that foot pedal for the speed earlier.
Yeah, so let me open this up and let you all see how slow that wheel turns.
Yeah, it's slow speed, all right.
And then I'll speed it up. Looks like I need to do some adjusting on it. That blade's sticking out a little too far on that wheel,
Yeah.
so I need to do some servicing on it.
Pretty fancy.
Yep.
That's a good sized Craftsman drill press.
Yeah, it's a machinist drill press because it's got this nice coolant table on it, so that's a nice setup. And then of course we got the milling toolbox that's got my Kaizen foam inserts that I did on it quite a while back to keep everything nice and organized.
Yeah, you can tell when something's missing. Looks really good.
And then of course the centerpiece of the whole machining area would be my...
This junky old Bridgeport?
Oh, now come on. I picked this up for about $2,300 here locally a couple years back, and it didn't have any goodies on it. It didn't have the DRO or the power feeds or the VFD or the light, and I slowly added that stuff over time onto it to get it set up so that the makers could use it and not have to worry with anything.
Yeah, I'm jealous. That is a nice machine. Yeah, it's even got power feed on the table.
Yep.
Up and down.
Yep, the knee, yeah. Somebody asked me the other day why I didn't have one on the Y, and I said, well, to be honest with you, there's not enough travel there for me to want it. You know, the knee is hard to crank on.
Oh, yeah.
The table's hard, long in distance. That Y, you don't really.
Right. I would use the knee a lot.
Yeah, that saves my arm a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole lot of cranking.
A lot of machinists don't want you to, I've seen a lot of people machining with a quill down, like that.
Oh, yeah.
And their excuse is, I don't want to crank that knee. Well, nah, that ain't happening here. I tell all the makers, keep that quill up as much as you can.
Exactly.
And use the power feed, because that's what it's for.
Right. Exactly.
And of course, we got this little bitty Harbor Freight mini mill over here too that they can use.
Yeah. Is that yours?
No, just the Bridgeport.
I've got an RF30, and it's nothing like a Bridgeport, but it's got its limitations. I always wondered if these were even capable of milling very much.
They use it for brass and aluminum, and it works for them.
Yeah.
But now we've got the big thing. They like to go.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, thanks for the tour, Billy.
You're welcome.
I'm really impressed with the Makerspace. Kind of makes me want to start one up in Kentucky, where I live. Probably won't happen, but it's a major undertaking.
That it is. You gotta have people vested in wanting to make stuff and be around for it. So
And have a lot of help.
Yeah, it's definitely a volunteer effort. Started on Craigslist. They put a Craigslist ad up about 10 or 11 years ago.
Well, that about wraps it up, and thanks for joining me, and thank you, Billy, for showing us around. Be sure and check out Billy's Knox Machining YouTube channel. He's got a lot to contribute.
Well, appreciate you coming by and visiting.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.